Okay, welcome everybody to the channel. It's Kevin with Freedom Coins here, and as you can see, today's going to be a little bit different. We don't have $2.50 sitting here for us to hunt, but instead we have an old coin collection that I think we should all go through together. So this is my wife's grandma's collection. I was lucky enough to be able to take a look at everything. I got everything all laid out for you. We're going to go ahead and kind of break this down individually, because we got some old $2 bills here, all uncirculated state quarters, bag full of old change to go through, coin books, and then this entire bag here is all full of silver coins. This is what we'll start off with. I'll go ahead and kind of get this stuff cleaned up, out of the way, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and break this down by denomination. So today's video, we'll probably do like a 3-part series to this. Today's video, we'll break down all the dollars that are in here, Morgan dollars, peace dollars, Eisenhower dollars, just kind of give you guys the rundown of what all is in here and just kind of sharing this excitement that I have with all of you guys. So like I said, let me go ahead, I'll get all this stuff pushed out of the way. I'm gonna get all the dollar coins out of here, and then we'll just start breaking this down and seeing what we have. All right, so this looks a little different to everybody. I got all the other stuff pushed out of the way, and I decided to go ahead and open up that one bag that I told you was all silver coins. And this is the magnitude of it. Like I say, guys, I am extremely excited, extremely honored to be able to go through this collection, see the hard work that was put into collecting these over the years, and to just try and understand the story behind each one of these coins and what made my wife's grandma collect all these. So like I said, it's very important to me, so I just want to share that all with you guys. But as you can see, we have peace dollars here, we have Morgan dollars throughout the middle here, we have Ike dollars, a couple uncirculated ones over there, a bag full of pennies. Most of them are wheat cents, but then there's also some newer, some foreign, see, some newers, but we'll go through that, pick out all of the wheat cents. That'll be for a later video. Again, more Morgan dollars. There is a ton of Morgan dollars here. Then we'll kind of go through the list here. We have silver Roosevelt dimes here. Then we have some Mercuries and a couple war nickels in this one. There are a couple Buffalo nickels in this bag here, and this is a holder that actually has uncirculated Roosevelt dimes, which is pretty cool. We'll check each year on those, see if there's any key years in that. And then we have a bag full of silver quarters here. There are some Standing Liberty quarters in here, which is pretty cool. So we'll see if we can get a date on both of those. Then we'll go over here, and these are all 1964 Kennedys. We'll go ahead, break this down, see what we have, see if we have any varieties in there. And then after that, we have a bag full of 40%ers. There's not a lot of them, but there's still a good amount of 40%ers to go through. And then here's an entire bag full of Ben Franklins. And as you guys know on this channel, Ben Franklins are my favorite. So we'll go through, check these, see if there's any key dates. And then the last and final bag will be a bag full of Walking Liberties, which again is pretty awesome. So I just wanted to go ahead, show you guys the entire magnitude of this collection. Let me get all these bags out of the way. I'll stack all of these up for you, all the dollars, and then we'll just kind of break them down by year, how many they minted, and just see if we have any cool varieties. So give me just a second, let me push this away, and I'll bring you back in when I get it all set up. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I got all these kind of laid out. I put the Morgan dollars all in their own stacks over here. We got the peace dollars right there. And then we got all of our Eisenhower dollars. I already checked, and there aren't any silver ones. You can kind of tell if we stack these back up. You can see by the edges, they're all clad. The ones to look for are the S mint marks. The S mint marks are gonna be your silver ones, and also kind of like regular coin roll hunting. If you look at the edges, you'll definitely tell if they're silver or not. And you can also tell by the sound. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. We do have 2 of these 1972D little uncirculated commemorative coins. They're not a commemorative in the sense of a special design. More so it's just this blue casing that kind of goes on these. It's just a nice little way to protect a couple Eisenhower coins. They did make 95 million of these 1972Ds, so there's nothing to look for in those. Then we do have a regular 1972 with no mint mark, that's going to be around 75 million. So again, nothing too rare. And then we do have, these are all bicentennials. They're all bicentennial D mint marks, which again, they made tons of these. So there's nothing really to look at. And then also this one that doesn't have a mint mark. I think they're pretty cool. The one thing, there's not much to look for these other than the silver ones, but something to look for on these is the different varieties. So if you look kind of like at states right there, how it's a really nice sharp line, that's going to be variety 2. Now the variety 1 is going to have the states and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot thicker. I did grab my red book so that way then I can kind of show you what it means. Right here. So your variety 1, it's a lot thicker, and then your variety 2 is just more of a standard design. But if you do, that's one thing to look for other than silver, to look for in these Eisenhower dollars. But other than that, there's nothing really to them. With that being said, since we don't have anything really low mintage or anything like that, we're just going to go ahead and get these set out of the way, and then I'll get these piece dollars set up, kind of arrange them by year, and we'll talk about those a little bit. All right, so I went ahead and got all the Eisenhowers moved out of the way. We're going to go ahead and start taking a look at these piece dollars. These are all, so there's 5 1922s right here. The only one that's kind of different is this one because it does have a D mint mark, and it's going to be right there off the tail. You can kind of see it underneath the 1 there. That's the only one of those kind of that's different. But then we also have, we have a 2000, we have a 1923, 1923, and then a 25. We'll go ahead and go by mintages. So these 25s, they did end up making 10.1, about 10.2 million of those. So it's not a key date. And then of the 23s, they went ahead and made 19 million. And then this one right here, the 1922D, they ended up making 15 million of those. And then they made 51 million of these 1922s. There's no key dates in here, but a couple things to kind of touch on with these. If you are looking at piece dollars, the big thing to look for is the high relief. So on the high reliefs, the kind of how you can see the rays of her crown, or however you want to call it, those are going to be a lot fatter. As you can see, those are kind of, they're plain, but they're a lot fatter. And then on the back here, where the rays from behind the bird go, see how they go just to the 1, or like right underneath the N of 1. The rays on the high relief ones are going to go through that N. And then also these top rays right here will go all the way up to the E pluribus right there, the E pluribus unum. It'll go all the way up to them. So see how those kind of stop a little ways before? That's kind of how you tell if it's high relief. I'll go ahead and put the image from PCGS or online. I'll go ahead and put that picture right here. You can see, kind of see the difference and kind of see what I'm talking about. But as we look through these piece dollars, there isn't any that kind of stand out. Now there's some nice coins in here for sure, but there's no key dates. This one right here is in really good shape. But as far as mintages and the different high relief or normal relief, we don't have any of those varieties. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and push these off to the side, and then we'll go ahead and get these Morgan dollars all laid out, and we'll kind of touch on those as well. All right, everybody. So I went ahead and I got all the Morgan dollars laid out. I'll kind of give you, well, try and give you guys a look at all of them and just take a look. There's a lot of them that are in really good shape, but nothing that stands out as in, you know, a perfect condition or anything like that. That's kind of why I feel comfortable touching them with my hands. Most of the time you'd want to wear gloves if you do have some of those nicer ones, but since these are just normal, nice coins, we can go ahead and I feel confident just touching them with my hand. But anyway, let's go ahead and kind of get started on these. Out of looking through all of these, we didn't find any real key dates. Key dates being looking always for the Carson City mint marks. That's going to be your biggest thing. So the mint mark on these Morgan dollars is right there on the bottom. You can see that O right there. That's where the mint marks are. Anytime you see a Morgan dollar, the first thing you really want to look at is to try and find the Carson City
the CC, because those are always going to be exponentially more expensive than your regular normal Morgan dollars. But if you kind of take a look at these, some of these are in better shape. Anyway, back to, these are the three right here that kind of were lower mintage. This one right here being a 1880 O mint mark. That one right there has 5.8 million, so that's a little lower mint mark. And then these two right here are, there we go, 1881 O's. Both of them are. Those are going to have 5.7 million. So as far as rare Morgans go, these are going to be the three rarer ones or lower mintages out of all the rest up here. I'll go ahead and just give you a quick rundown. We have a 78, 79, 80, 81, along with these 80 and 81s. Then there was a 84, 87, 87, 88, 289s, and then the rest are 21s. I won't go through all the mint marks on them just because, like I said, we don't have any key ones. The kind of tips for looking at Morgans, the three things you really want to look for is the Carson City mint mark. That's going to be number one. And then the other thing to really look for is on the 1978s. The big thing is there's a couple different reverses that have to do with the feathers on the tail, but if they're either 7 or 8 tail feathers, and then kind of how the arrows kind of move, if they're either parallel or they kind of bend. Those are the different kind of things to really look for. I'll go ahead and add a picture of that right here. And then now that you guys have kind of seen what I'm talking about, that's kind of the first things to really look for. And then a lot of times there was the 80 over 79. So what they would do is on the 80 right there, they would punch it over an old 79 mint mark. So that would kind of stand out. That's something to really look for. And then also on the 87s, there was an 87 over 86. So you'd kind of be able to see a 6 underneath that 7. I've looked through these and I don't see any of those cool varieties. Unfortunately, there's nothing to report on those, but all in all, it was a really, really cool collection to look through. Like I said, this is going to be part one. I'm going to go through all the half dollars. There's a whole bunch of half dollars to go through, and we'll check for errors and stuff like that. But this was kind of just my chance to go ahead and show you guys a little piece of history. I had the honor to go ahead and take a look at this collection, so I wanted to go ahead and show it to you guys, look for some varieties together, and then just kind of tell you a couple things to look out for. But go ahead, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it. But until the next one, stay free, stay tuned, and I'll see you on the part 2.